r/nosleep u/squishy cabbage 8d. I took a job as a fire lookout in the middle of the woods. I found a strange set of rules to follow. Part 2. I can't stop thinking about that scratching noise last night. What was it? It has to be an animal, right? Fuck, I hope it's an animal. I'm also trying to not think about that list, but man, it's hard not to. I brought it with me, just in case, although I feel sort of silly doing it. I bet it's a prank. It's only my second day and I'm already being pranked. My mind is racing around the place. Anyways, I'm currently on a patrol, just walking some of the routes and pathways, making sure nobody is camping in any of the openings. It's getting dark, so I think I'm going to head back. I'm just about to take a turn that will circle me back to my tower when I catch the glimpse of a campsite. Here we go, my first real task, telling campers that they have to pack up and leave. This area is for hiking only. I head on over. The campsite has been set up in a large clearing in the trees. There's just a single reddish-yellow tent, and a dried-out fire pit. Hello, I call out, you can't be camping here, it's for hiking only. Silence. No reply. I walk closer to the campsite, veering towards the fire pit in case something jumps out of the tent at me. I'm such a wimp. I call out again. Hello? Is anyone there? Nothing. That's when I start to feel weird. Something didn't feel right. I can't explain it, it was just off. I'm sure whoever has set this up is just hiking and will be back, but it's already almost dark, which made me worry. Wait, there was a rule about this, I think. I took the list out of my pocket and quickly scanned it. Sure enough, Rule 8. If you are investigating a campfire at night, and upon your arrival you hear a woman scream, run back to the tower as fast as you can. Okay, well, not okay. But okay. I've not heard a scream, it's just an empty campsite, there isn't even a live fire. I'll radio Allison. Allison, hey, there's a campsite here, no fire, but no people either. What should I do? Whereabouts is it? Allison replied instantly. I gave her my coordinates after referring to the map, which I had to use my flashlight to view as it was getting to be complete darkness. I got it, it's just on the edge of my zone. I'll head down there now, you just go back to your tower, okay? Allison responded. Right, you sure? I asked. Positive. Head back, be safe. Okay, she's the pro. I'll radio her asking how it's going when I get back. I was walking for about 30 minutes, almost back at my tower when I spotted a clear pathway that jutted off into the trees. Weird, I don't remember seeing that on the map. I thought the road I was on had no paths leading off of it. Figuring I had missed it in the morning, and that I'd check it out tomorrow, I trudged on back to my tower. Once back, I sat at my desk just staring at the rules. I hadn't asked Allison about them, and don't want to unless something else weird happens. Tonight wasn't even weird, I just found an empty campsite. No woman scream like the rules warned. I've been sitting here reading the rules for about 20 minutes, when my main radio goes off. Hey, Oscar. I've dealt with the camper. He says he was taking a shit by some trees, and wasn't aware he wasn't allowed to camp here. Allison explains, he must have been doing his business when you were by the site. I'm walking him to his car now. All good. Okay, thanks for dealing with that, good night, I respond, feeling bad she trekked all the way out there for that, as I got into bed. It's the next afternoon, last night was fine, no issues. I'm feeling more safe and secure now and have left the list on my table today. I've spent the morning eating, a lot. I think my appetite is growing due to all the walking around. I've just been staring a lot out at the woods from my tower, which is calming. It's time for my late afternoon rounds to make sure nobody is camping, but first I want to check out that weird trail that ain't on any maps. I get to it quite quickly, it's relatively close, and sure enough it's as clear a trail as any. It's as if it had been maintained just as well as the main ones. I trudge along it, not expecting much. It's a bit downhill, but not a hard walk. I've been walking for about 5 minutes, and I think I can see the end of the trail. And that's all I see, just an end. That's kind of shit. This leads to literally nothing, just a wall of trees. I'm just about to turn back when I see it. There's a small red handkerchief around the branch of a nearby tree. Interesting. I walk up to it, and just as I approach it, I see another one, slightly deeper in the woods, and behind that, another one. Oh fuck, am I about to be an idiot and walk right into a serial killer's trap by following these? Almost as if I want to prove to myself I'm not a wimp, I'm going to follow them. I have gone past 5 handkerchiefs, each plain red with no inscriptions or anything, and am about to reach another. The difference is that this one is on the ground, the rest were all on branches. Past this one, I can't see any more. That's a bit annoying, sighing as I reach down to pick up the last handkerchief to inspect it. What the fuck? This is tied around something wooden, kind of heavy. I heave it up, dirt rises off a wooden door as it reveals a small bunker. This is fucking cool. It's literally about 10 feet deep and 10 feet wide, has a ladder on its wall by where the door was lifted. I shine my flashlight in, and can see a sleeping bag on the floor below, and a camera, that's it. I climb down the ladder, it was sturdy, felt like it had been crafted well. In fact, the whole bunker seems pretty clean for being an underground bunker. But there's literally just a sleeping bag in here, and a camera with the charger plugged into the camera itself, but obviously not to any wall sockets as it's a fucking bunker. I pick the camera up and try to turn it on. It's dead. It's a relatively modern camera, has a screen to view pictures on one side which seems fine other than a slight crack. The main lens of the camera though has been smashed, looks like its days of taking pictures are over. I'm charging this when I get back to my tower, I'm excited to see what's on it. I'll radio Allison about it when I get back, otherwise she'll know I'm starting my actual rounds late. You'll never fucking guess. The campsite from last night is back. Hell, it looks like it never left. It's exactly where I saw it last night. Has this guy come back thinking he could sneak back to the exact same spot? I'm literally looking at the same reddish-yellow tent, in the same position. The only difference is that the campfire is lit this time around, which was the only other light provided other than from my flashlight. Annoyed, I figure I'll deal with this guy, then radio Allison the good news, that I dealt with it myself. I march up to the tent, and reach to pull back the cover. I don't care if I give him a fright, he shouldn't be here and knows that. I pull the cover off. Wait, what? There's nothing in the tent. I mean, nothing. No person, no sleeping bag, no rucksack. Just dirt. The fire is burning strong behind me, as I swivel around toward it, scanning the trees beyond its fiery glow. It feels like something is staring at me. I quickly kick the fire, and pour what's left of my water on it to put it out. I am literally plunging myself into complete darkness right now. The fire is out, I'm keeping my flashlight pointed at the ground because I can't bear to look at the trees beyond the campfire, still feeling uneasy. I reach to radio Allison. A blood-curdling scream pierces the silence, coming from the growth of trees just beyond the campfire. Holy shit. The scream is one that I could never have imagined. It's a scream of pure pain, pure rage. A dark figure bursts from the trees, screaming all the while, and starts to run at me. I only make out part of its silhouette before turning to run myself, but I noted the shape of a human, a woman, with long hair and arms flailing loosely by her side as she sprinted at me. I'm running through the woods that I'm only just coming to learn, staying on the path I know leads back to my tower. She hasn't stopped screaming, still chasing me, the long drawn-out scream all I can hear, piercing my thoughts. Making a sharp turn on the path, I start to scream myself, although I can't even hear my own over hers. I'm over halfway back to the tower. Do I look back? Holy fuck. I can't, it'll slow me down. What the fuck? The scream is getting louder, she's fucking gaining on me. How the fuck is she still screaming? The tower. I see the dim glow from the lamp I had left on in the hut above, breaching the darkness ahead of me, providing me with hope. I reach the stairs, bolting up them at full speed. The windy staircase is sort of uneven, so I'm stumbling every few steps, but I've yet to lose my balance. Halfway up, I hear her bolt onto the first few steps. She is fast, I can hear it. She is gaining on me, but I think I can make it. I'm at the top. I run into my hut and, as I slam the door, the screams suddenly stop. I'm wedged up against the door, adrenaline pumping, holding my flashlight like a weapon ready to fight. The sudden silence doesn't help. At least when she was screaming, I knew where she was. My ears are still ringing though, as I stayed heaved against the door. It's been an hour now since the screaming stopped, and since then I've not heard a sound. My adrenaline has died, but I'm still fucking terrified. I'm finally going to move from the door and radio Allison, unable to speak before from the fear. If that's a prank, that's fucked up. Although, for my sake, I hope it is a prank. I flick the main radio on. Allison, I anxiously gasp, Allison fucking answer. After what feels like an hour's silence, but was probably only half a minute or so, I hear a croaky moan. That's not Allison, is it? It was a woman's voice, sounded in pain. What if that freaky thing that chased me got to Allison? Just as I was about to respond to check up on her, the radio sounded again. What started as another moan got louder, turning into a scream. It was the same fucking scream. The same scream that will haunt my dreams, tainting them in pain and anger. She was screaming through my radio. I slammed it off. Good morning, man. How'd you sleep? Allison chirped the next morning. Allison, I replied, wearily from my lack of sleep the previous night, what the fuck is this list I found?